Right. Let's start with the homework first. Right. Go there. One. Last when we left, we had just done the read part. No, write part of the homework, right? And we had implemented the write in the contact list file. I had given you a little bit of hint of like how you might do the read part. Right? So first thing first, like let's implement a read function here. Right? So
Was it read or load?
yeah, load. Load. We know that the way there is write file, there's also read file. It should hopefully work in pretty much the same way. Let's hope so. To return read file. Yeah, this the file name. And then
Can you just John or does it sound like?
That's what we've defined ourselves over here.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just sent it to Ben.
And with read file, I think that was all we needed as arguments, the file name and the encoding that you want. Because this, it's not loaded into any data structure. So there's no extra, what we're writing or something.
Yeah, but in the assignment, it said to manipulate the internal function portion.
Yeah, so we'll just go step by step. So here, let me create a new file. Let's save it as read.js. So we'll import the contact list. Require. So contact list.js. Let's test just this much. Read.js. Yeah, that's fine. No error so far. Now to create a new contact list, we in the constructor we just need the file name, right? And we want to read contact1.json. So just do that. Let contacts equal to new contact list. We just give the file name contacts1.json. So far, so good. Then let's call our function pair. So do context load. Then let's just do console log of whatever it's getting and catch console log. Makes sense so far because we're doing a return on read file. Read file is promised-ified, so we can do then and catch on here. Do that. The file is read file. So this is just the bare part of just reading the file and convert, using the same object. Yeah, so these are two different. We do the writing part in index2.js, and we do the reading part in read.js. We do the same contact list.json, contacts1.json, right? So this part is exactly the same here and there, because yeah. So of course here we don't wanna just return the string. So we'll save this first. So let's say constant file string. Read file. Then we'll take we'll do JSON.parse on file string. Okay, but this yeah. So yeah, because file string is actually just a promise. So we'll do file string, then let's read file itself. Read file, read file, then we have file string. Yeah, the catch can be handled later on. So we get the file string, so let's say let's do it more directly. So we do JSON parse on the file string. This will read file is just a promise, and then it returns. This okay. Yeah, let's change that. Read file promise. It's a promise. It can survive. Okay, let's just try and look at the output at this stage. So this is going to be a little bit funny. So we will just do a return. This is going to return a promise. So let's put it into an array. Let's make it, just call it temporary, and then inside here you do a new promise.resolve. So this will create a promise and immediately say that it's done. Without adding the error. Yeah, you don't give it a callback, but you just resolve it immediately. Yeah, this is definitely a little bit tricky in terms of how you handle promises, but let's see. Try this. Promise.resolve. Oh, okay, promise.resolve is not a constructor. Yep. So you can see that. Let's do it again. So we are able to read it, and look, this is not JSON. This is JavaScript. There is no name. Is not surrounded by codes. So this is being. This is where it's being read. So fine, we have a way of reading the file and converting the file contents into JavaScript objects, right? But we don't just want JavaScript objects, we want that to be made into contacts, right? So now we know that this is going to return an array to us, So we'll work more on that. Once you know that it's an array, then we can do a map on it, right? And so each one of it is a contact object, and we'll just use that to create a new contact. Fine. So like this thing is what is printed over here, right? So you can map over it and create a new object. But of course, when you do map, that means that you need to save this guy somewhere else. So we will save it in, where should we save it? Does this class have a property which could consume the output of this command? What is this? Yeah, it's a array of what? Of contacts. Yeah, this is an object. Now we're converting it into an array of contacts. Right? Is there somewhere we would want to put a array of contacts? Yeah. Here. Right. We'll just list. We're doing that. So now we could just resolve. Yeah. We just returning a promise in order to let the other function do a catch. But it's not particularly needed. It will just help us link things together. Right?
I have a question.
Yeah.
When you resolve OBJ, you can only send variables. You can't send a function or expression.
No, you can.
Or something like that.
Yeah, you can resolve and reject with whatever you want.
You can't call a function.
You could.
You can?
Yeah. You might not be. You can't invoke a function inside. You could put a function definition and then invoke it later. Because like the moment you have a function definition, that's basically a variable. You can pass variables. Variables are not like discriminated. No, you cannot pass a class here. No, you can only pass ints or something. No, you can pass something which is a variable, right? And then invoke it later. So this function won't return anything. So when we try to do a console log over here, this will just console log null, hopefully. Just says null because we returned null. But you know that at this moment, our list is already populated. Right? It should have the contacts read. So instead, we can try and print the contacts. So contacts dot list. Now to debug, we just do before loading, before load. Contacts.list. What should it have at this moment?
Should you add any contact? New contact?
No, this is before we do the load. So what should we have? When we empty list, because when you do new contact list, then the constructor runs, right? The constructor runs, and that would set the list property as an empty array. So over here, this should console log empty array. And over here, hopefully, things have been saved. And this should now output the contact from the file. You can see that these are instances of the contact class because first of all it's this contact over here, and also you can see that the age is undefined, which might be part of what we do in the constructor.
Yes, down.
Here, sorry.
Jane didn't have any age.
Yeah, let's look at this. Age 28, yeah. But why is the age undefined?
Here you send the contact copy.
Yeah. But why does it have an age property at all?
Well, the first one, they're Jimmy.
Yes, that's why, because we have a name and age in the constructor for contact. That's why even if in the file, in the JSON file, you don't have explicitly for Jane an age property, but here you will get age undefined because the constructor is going to attach something empty. Right?
And where is null?
What, sorry?
Why it doesn't console null?
Because we don't have null anywhere. Because
Your first console.
yeah, because we were taking whatever was being returned over here, and we were console logging that. Now we ignore whatever is loaded here. This is just like, you know, so when you do promise.resolve, then it would know that it has to use this guy and not this guy. Right? So let's try and create an error. What if the contact JSON file doesn't exist? Right? Let's just rename it. Rename it, you can just delete and move. I just renamed it. Now if I do try to do load, read, yeah, it gives you an error. And I'm quite sure that the error is being presented from over here. And we can be sure of that by doing a little bit more decorated console log. Console log, error, load. So just to be sure that, you know, even though this is fine, but we are actually, the program is doing what we actually want it to do. Yep, error on load appears over here. So our flow is correct. I think this satisfies the condition for the homework. Yeah.
I never took this far.
Hmm?
I never took this far.
But look, if you have to look at the save, most of the program is just written over here. Right? Here you're just trying to use whatever is available in the class. So all the hard work happens here. The first part is, of course, the reading part.
Oh, straightforward.
Yeah, that is the same as here.
Yeah.
Fine. Then, of course, the bit more complicated part is like, how do you process it when it is read? So for me, like for doing this homework, it would have been fine if you couldn't do it exactly this way, because of course they, you know, there's a little bit of promise trickery going on here. But if you had just managed to parse it into contacts over here, because you would have then gotten the string of the contacts and then done the JSON parse and then map over here, that would have been fine for doing the homework right now.
I think I did it the same, but without .10 and .9.
Without
.10, the first one.
okay. I mean, you need to handle it as a. You could, if you don't want to work with promises just over here, then you could have used the normal callback format of read file. Yeah. And then only. Yeah, but you're still using promise. Yeah. The JSON parser. That won't work JSON parser because A is a promise.
Yes.
So you cannot JSON parse promise. Yeah.
But it's almost the same.
I use just the function label function data, just a use function. But it's reading the
Does it work?
Yeah.
Good.
It's where to read the file. I create empty file.
Yeah, but this won't. Your console log will execute before the read file has actually happened. So the flow, you cannot actually control what you do with when you read the file.
You didn't convert it to object.
Yeah. So I completely, I don't put it.
Yeah. In this, there are several ways to do this, but like I think, at least for me, this was the least work way of doing it. And the point is that if you know your data structures and your functions well, you will usually end up doing less amount of work. I mean, like this is literally 8 lines of code. So, and it, yeah. What you saying?
The variable name. And read.js was over
In where? So yeah.
in the format read.js.
Okay, yeah.
When over here, I can't use context variable.
Here?
Yeah, because it says promise pending. But I can say it then and insert a variable and then use that variable to get data. I mean, it works, but I'm more like what to do now because I don't know how
Okay.
to upload.
Yeah. Can we just connect to the Chromecast and show the code? Just take a look.
Can I see the load function again?
Sorry. This is yeah. I mean, if I was really, you can just enter that. But yeah, then it's no, because this is the constructor. This is the function. But yeah, this is a little bit harder to read, so I'm just gonna leave it at this.
Okay.
Maybe I need to disconnect before you can connect. You can't find it? Do you have Linux? Okay. Usually it can be a little bit of a trouble.